Let's talk about adding and deleting layers. So first, let's start about how can we create layers? So many different ways, and that's something in Photoshop that you'll learn. There's many ways to do one task, and a lot of times people will just become familiar, comfortable with one way, and that's the way they will do it. So I wanted to show you how we can make a new layer. I'm going to go up to Layer, and I'm going to select New. So the layer menu in Photoshop basically gives us a lot of options dealing just with layers. So if I go to Layer and New, I'm able to make a new layer. Okay, and you might see that there's the shortcut key, Shift Control N, that will also create a new layer. So if I just select New Layer here, it'll come up with my new layer dialog box, which I have the option of naming if I know what I want to name it. I can color code it right away if I wanted to put a color coding on it. This is my blending mode, so if I chose to put a blending mode or knew I wanted to utilize that, and my opacity. Remember, opacity and transparency, they're opposites. So if I wanted to apply a transparency, I would decrease my opacity. So I'll go ahead and click OK, and there's my new layer. So that's kind of a longer method, going to Layer and going to New and choosing Layer. Okay, that's a little bit longer path. I can use the New Layer command on my Layer Panel menu. So this is my Layer Panel Options menu, and right here at the top, New Layer. Same thing, I get my dialog box, same information, I can click OK, and there's my second layer. A little bit faster would be to include, to use the icon. So down here, I can choose my Create New Layer, and I know that the little tooltip is probably running off the page here. Here's the Create a New Layer, so I can click that. Now when I do that, I don't get my dialog box, so I don't get a chance to change those options right away. And when I do it, it takes the default settings of a normal blending mode with 100% opacity. Okay, so those are ways that I can make a new layer from scratch, an empty new layer.